Primetime local news, serving the Lakeland and Midwest regions.
The Lloydminster Interval Home put on their volunteer sign-up day this afternoon for people interested in helping out the community and getting hands-on experience. Our Callum Hawker went to the event to find out just how this society helps so many people.
Over the last 44 years, the Lloydminster Interval Home Society has helped many people in crisis in the border city. Donations and volunteers are crucial to their success as they try to get more people helping out in various roles.
So it's Volunteer Appreciation Week nationally, I believe. We're just trying to get the word out. This has been, I think, my third month or fourth month being in this position, just trying to get more of the word out, get more hands on deck. This is an operation that I think a lot of people don't realize is a very busy one. We're getting donations every single day. We are getting customers buying our thrift finds every single day, and we need more people to process and to upkeep the store.
The Interval Home offers many different services in Lloydminster. As community engagement liaison, Rhiannon Greening shares just exactly their goals and resources they offer.
So it helps kind of in a couple ways. The emergency shelter is a place that women can flee with their children from violence. We also have the youth center, which a lot of youth within the community can come out and they get a hot meal 4 days a week and do different activities around the city and just give them a place to go to.
Although the volunteer sign-up was this afternoon, the Interval Home is always looking for extra hands around their store and could be a great way to meet new friends, gain experience, and give back. The Interval Home is a place for women and children in crisis, and since 1980, the Lloydminster Interval Home has helped over 6,700 women and 8,300 children. Callum Hawker, Primetime Local News.
Callum Hawker joins me now with the weather, and boy, it didn't take long to get used to those nice temperatures at all.
Yeah, it's today felt awfully cold, honestly, especially after the last week, and it's not really supposed to get better for the next couple days at least. Probably getting some snow tonight, which is unfortunate. That snow should go into tomorrow as well, and if it's not snow tonight, expect some rain too. There is going to be some precipitation, and honestly probably not the worst thing here in Lloydminster. It's been pretty dry here in the last couple of weeks. I'm sure some farmers and the golf courses should be excited to get those fairways looking green. It might not be Augusta green, but should be somewhat close. But yeah, very cloudy day here in Lloydminster, currently 6 degrees. But with that, those winds and the clouds kind of being over all day, it does feel like 2 currently in the border city. So yeah, much colder temperatures than what we've had in weeks past and over the weekend, of course. And then as we look across Alberta here, across the regions, everything pretty similar. Lac La Biche not showing their temperature currently, but it should be around 5 degrees like everywhere else. Bonnyville at that 5-degree mark. St. Paul and Cold Lake at 4. Same with Edmonton. Vegreville at that 6-degree mark, while Vermilion and Wainwright are at 7, with Provost just a bit warmer at that 8-degree mark. And as we look on the Saskatchewan side here, very similar as well. Pierceland at 6, St. Walburg and Meadow Lake at that 8-degree mark, Green Lake at 7 currently, Isle La Crosse at 6, Maidstone at 6 as well, same with Macklin, and then North Battleford at 7 degrees. And as we look at North Battleford tonight, going to be a lot like Lloydminster, low of 0 with some snow, and if it's not going to be snow, probably sleet and rain coming in with that precipitation mark at 94%. So yeah, some snow coming in throughout the regions here. Calgary snowed last night, so probably getting those temperatures and clouds coming in from the west area. And as we look at North Battleford tomorrow, it should still be snowing, 5 to 10 centimeters to be expected, a high of 1. So, might be a good night tonight to stay in, watch some basketball, the NBA play-ins kick off tonight, or, watch the last couple regular seasons games of the NHL. And then looking at Cold Lake tomorrow, -3 will be the low, and they're getting some snow as well Tuesday night in Cold Lake. And then tomorrow in Cold Lake, a high of 3 with that snow coming as well. So snow to be expected in a lot of these places. And then looking here tonight, yeah, -3 and, a centimeter to be expected. That snow, like I said, is going to go into tomorrow as well. and 32-kilometer-an-hour winds. And then our day tomorrow, 6 a.m. should be snowy all day, flurries to kind of start your morning off. And then as we go into the noon hour, still it will be snowing. It'll be at that 0-degree mark, and then 6 p.m. at 1, with midnight being -3 and pretty cloudy throughout the day. And then as we look at the 3-day forecast, like I said, that's going to go into Wednesday and Thursday. Tomorrow getting 6 to 12 centimeters to be expected, a high of 2, low of -6. Thursday, a high of 0 and a low of -7. And then Friday, not as cold and expecting some sun, which should be nice to kick off the weekend, a high of 6 and a low of -5. That's all for your first look at our weather report. We'll have some more news with Leanne after the break.
The third annual Everythingquin on the Border took place this past weekend at the Lloyd-X. Our Thomas Wildman has more on the event.
See you later. Good boy. Good boy.
Everythingquin is one of the premium horse showcases of Western Canada. Whether it's learning with the clinics or seeing the great horses and horse equipment on display with the trade show, the organizing committee has heard nothing but great things from all the participants.
The Trainers Challenge has been awesome. Some great sessions there to watch. The clinics, again, great. I mean, got to watch the cow horse again this morning in that first group. You can just see the gains those clinic participants have made in 3 days. It's great to watch. I mean, that's why we're doing it, is for the gains like that.
The always entertaining Trainers Challenge has 3 equine experts train a colt with limited sessions throughout the weekend and have them prepared for a final test to determine the winner.
We really focus on the foundation of the horse and just working on a system, on a program that helps build that horse's confidence right from the bottom up. So a sequential order is what we call it. So just having that sequence right from first time we catch them and then getting them used to a rope and getting them used to everything else, saddle, and we just build on that program, so there's that order so that we can have that strong foundation so that horse is confident and trusting and wants to be our partner.
And that will do it for the third annual Everythingquin on the Border event. Be sure to come out next year where it will be an even bigger and even better event. Thomas Wildman, Primetime, local news.
Now here are your agriculture prices for today. The Lakeland Rustlers women's basketball season has been complete for some time, but there still has been a lot of exciting things happening during the off-season. Our Thomas Wildman has more on what the Rustlers coaching staff have been doing in Europe.
Today, I'm joined by Chris King, the head coach of the Lakeland Rustlers women's basketball team, and he has just returned from coaching over in Spain. And so today we're going to talk about that experience. And so thank you so much for joining me today, Chris.
Hey, no problems. Thanks for having me.
So just, Chris, can you kind of go over how you even got this opportunity and kind of just the whole story of how you got to travel the country to coach basketball? As of course, it's a very prestigious honor to be able to do such a thing.
Yeah, I think one of the cool things about sport is you're able to network pretty wide once you get into camps and other things like that. So I went over with Golden Ticket Sports. So we had our U16 and U18 teams playing over in Spain. So it was very exciting for us because we had some of the best players across the province. Now, obviously, with me coaching at Lakeland, it's also a chance to see some of these players when they're in grade 9 and 10, players that we're going to recruit. So it was a really great opportunity, and it's also led to other opportunities. Later in the summer, I'll be going to coach in Prague with the Czech U15 national team for their training camp, and do a couple other things over in Belgium and Brussels. So it's very cool how sports can open the door kind of worldwide.
You mentioned how it's very important for you to see some kids that you will possibly be recruiting in the years to come. But has there been any other things that from this experience and these coming experiences that you're going to have in Prague that have helped you for coaching for the Lakeland Rustlers for this upcoming 2024-25 season?
Yeah, I think starting with like Spain just here last week, I think it's really cool to see the style of plays in Europe. Europe plays FIBA, so the same rules as us. But to see what teams are running through, U13 through U20 and seeing how they're developing their pro athletes. We actually got to go watch a pro game and just to see, a bunch of ex-NBA guys and how they move the ball and how they play. This summer when I go to Prague, I'm really hoping to take away some things from the national team and how they develop their athletes from 14, 15, 16 into their future Olympians. I think as coaches, we're always stealing from someone else. There's not a lot of original ideas. So if you see something you like, offense or defense, I at least ask the coaches and ask how they do it. And then maybe we can twist it and work it with our Lakeland girls here. So everything that I do is always directed towards how can we make our Lakeland program better and stronger in the future.
And so now getting back to, you'll of course be very busy over the next few months in the summer, but then after coming back from Prague, it will be time to get back to the Rustlers. So what are some of those major things that over the summer you and the rest of your coaching staff are going to be doing to be best prepared for September and getting back into ACAC basketball?
Yeah, fortunately or unfortunately, after winning the championships, I think the day after I started thinking about next season and how we can do that next year. We're lucky enough to be returning about 13 girls off of our 19-person roster, so we're excited about that. But we've already started planning and the style of play that's going to work with our new group. We'll have a few recruits coming in and possibly a transfer. So our goal, as always, is to win ACAC and win nationals. So now that we did that at home, which was such a special thing for us, we're thirsty to do it again. So our off season is just starting right now, and we're trying to get the girls focused on our conditioning, our shooting, all those things that are going to help us next March when we try to do it again for nationals.
Perfect. Thank you so much for your time today, Chris, and good luck to you in your future coaching endeavors across the world, as well as to the Rustlers coming up next season.
Hey, thank you. Have a great day.
Now, time to look at all of the cute pet pictures you've been sharing with us on social media for our Pets of the Day.
We want to see your pets. Send photos of your pet and their name to have them featured on Pet of the Day.
We're back at Border Paws Animal Shelter today to talk about this cute little cat. He doesn't want to talk to us right now, but Bernardo, can you just tell us a little bit about him and how he ended up here?
So Bernardo was brought into Border Paws by bylaw back in January 3rd. He has been here for 105 days. He is a very handsome, cuddly cat. He does love pets. He loves other cats. He's very sweet. We're not too sure how he is with dogs yet, but I feel like given the right environment, they give him his space, he'd be absolutely fine. He's great with kids. He's crazy eyes. Look at him. He's such a sweet boy. So after he came to us, he actually was experiencing some health issues. He had some fluid in his lungs. So he was taken to the vet, and we got him on his medications, and he's doing so much better now. But like I mentioned last week, it's because of the donations from people in this city towards our sick and injured animal fund. They're the reason we're able to give these animals the care and attention that they need so that they can thrive and maybe be an addition to somebody's family. Hey, buddy.
And then what things are you really trying to see in a home that will literally make him thrive?
He loves cuddles. He's a very docile cat. He is very playful as well, but he just needs love. He would thrive in a home that, doesn't mind an older cat. He's about 4.5 years old. He's very sweet. He loves the kids. He was in a kennel by himself for a little bit. We moved him in here and just complete turnaround. He gets along great with the other cats in here. He integrated and fits in so well.
And then what other animals do you think would work for him in a home? He knows you can go with cats, but what about other dogs, gerbils, any of those types of animals?
Probably smaller animals. Cats do tend to have a prey instinct when it comes to smaller animals usually. He hasn't been tested with dogs, but like I said, we do offer meet and greets, and if somebody wants to see if their dog would be a good fit, then it is definitely possible. We can arrange that for sure.
And then I know you guys are starting a little more with the microchipping side of things. Can you just tell us about that?
So a lot of the reason why animals aren't reunited with their families right away is they aren't microchipped. We don't know who they belong to. Some people don't have social media. So we do offer microchipping for $40 by appointment. You can call, bring your animal down here, and we'll get them all chipped up. So then it's just a quick scan. We know who they belong to, and we can get them reunited quicker. Because we are limited on space in shelters, so the more people that have their animals chipped, it takes a lot of stress off of shelters too.
And then are there any events that you guys are having coming up?
Yes, actually. Well, June 14th, there is a Man's Best Friend comedy show coming up. They're being hosted at the Sticks. Tickets are $30 a piece or $50 for a pair. We do have a little QR code that you can scan to purchase your tickets there, and the proceeds from some of those sales will come right back to the shelter so we can help feed and take care of these little guys. It's very important too, microchipping your pets. We do have quite a few that come in that aren't. Lloyd does have a leash law wherein your animal, if they're not contained within your yard, they need to be leashed. Otherwise, they could end up here and then you get a fine, right? So to try to avoid that, it's just easier. $40, get them chipped. And also this week on Thursday, I will be taking some kittens over to the Lakeland campus here in Lloyd. Students are doing their exams right now, so we offer kind of a little de-stress time. They can come and see me. I'll be in the front near student services. Have probably about 7 little itty bitty kittens with us. So that's always fun. They're very playful. They're so cute. We also now have merchandise available. You can go to the website www.1234.com. We have hats. There's long sleeve shirts, t-shirts, sweaters. So a whole bunch of different things, and you can help support the animal shelter and take care of sweet little babies like Bernardo. Here, look, he just loves the pets.
What donations are you guys really wanting to receive this week or hoping?
Donations, we can definitely use kitten kibble, kitten food. We still have one of our puppies left waiting to be adopted, so puppy food. Any kind of dog enrichment items are always welcome. Litter boxes, things like that. Yeah.
And for everyone watching this, just know that you could see, come get little Bernardo. Come
look at his
come
crazy
get little
eyes.
Bernardo. He's right here at Border Paws Animal Shelter.
He's such a good boy. Look at him. He's just chill. He loves being petted and cuddled.
Right there.
Hey, buddy.
Furniture set and design supplied by Furniture Gallery, downtown Lloydminster.
I'm here speaking today with Mayor Craig Copeland from Cold Lake. And Craig, I understand that there has been some concern in the community recently about incidents in the business district. Can you tell me a little bit about what's been happening there?
Yeah, we've had quite a few businesses approach us and also, phone us, and we've met with them. Concern about, especially in Cold Lake South, about the, the vagrancy around their businesses, vandalism outside their buildings, and just sort of a general harassment of the paying patron. So council is going to be looking at this. It is very concerning, but we've seen kind of a general increase in people just hanging around in Cold Lake.
I understand that some business owners have reached out and expressed their concerns to you. Can you tell me what they're saying about how these incidents impact their clientele or their customers?
Yeah, well, unfortunately, vagrants can come into their building and go to the washroom and do a lot of damage. Unfortunately, there's really not a lot of respect there. They'll they'll be outside your business and just sitting around or standing around and drinking and just in terms of they're also causing vandalism on the graffiti on the outside of the building. They've climbed up a ladder and gone onto the roof of one commercial building and actually shut the power off to that building. So it is alarming. It's difficult for the RCMP and the municipal enforcement officers to deal with the individuals because in most cases, when they do get charged for mischief, they're released with, that day.
Great. Back in the community and possibly doing more instances of mischief and damage, that kind of thing.
Correct. Yeah, it's very frustrating. I mean, especially if you're a landlord of a building, you're trying to generate income, and if your businesses that are leasing from you are not doing well financially, chances are they may not renew the lease, and so this is significant, especially when you consider the amount of property tax that the buildings pay to the city. So that's why way back in the 2024 budget, when we did it in the fall of 23, council really put some significant money towards beefing up our municipal enforcement and the RCMP and of course watchdog security. So just to deal with these individuals that for whatever reason have come into Cold Lake in a big way.
I guess, are there any solutions on the horizon? It seems that there may be some upstream effects maybe that need to be addressed, maybe not by local government, by provincial or federal governments.
Well, we would really appreciate if the province considered bringing in sheriffs in Cold Lake for this specific task. But our management is working on a strategy that eventually will come to council for some conversation. But we are working with the RCMP on this file. But it sort of goes back to the whole justice system. If we're not going to be penalizing people that are just causing general mischief in the community, if we're not going to put them away in the prison system for an extended period of time, individuals are going to keep on doing what they're doing, and we need to really revamp, even though it might be considered mischief, but we need to consider that most of the individuals that we're talking about have been charged repeated times, and this is not just happening in Cold Lake. This is happening across Canada, as everybody's seeing.
I have heard of incidents where certain individuals are released from custody and go back out to reoffend in the same night.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's frustrating. I mean, I can't imagine being an enforcement person in today's world. It's tough, and we're here to support, our police force. It's just that there's individuals right now that just do not respect the process right now, and it just it's been increasing, and so there's concern. Like we just had a recent fire in the landfill the other night, and so the fire department raced out there and put out a pretty big fire, and then we also had another fire way in the bush behind the agriplex that these individuals had put on fire, and the fire got away on them. And so, the last year we had 23 fires that were done by people living in the rough in the bush, and we're seeing again the increase in the fires once again this year.
All right, Craig. Well, I hope that your community can find a solution. I'm sure you're not the only ones dealing with this, and we'll talk about it again, I'm sure.
Thank you.
Tim Hortons is taking a stab at a Canadian favorite, pizza. The coffee chain will be serving flatbread pizza across the country in a bid to attract more customers in the afternoons and the evenings. The launch follows a 2-year pilot which served flatbread pizzas at Calgary, Toronto, and Winnipeg locations. Curious pizza lovers can expect to see cheese, pepperoni, and bacon flatbread pizzas at locations starting on Wednesday. Well, Callum, I'm still waiting until McDonald's brings back its pizzas. They were pretty darn good, and I don't know if these Tim Hortons ones will match up to that.
I did try the Tim Hortons pizza a while ago. It was in Toronto at the Toronto location. Not the greatest. I know KFC is starting something as well with their chicken pizza. It's basically just pizza with a chicken base, so I don't know how that'll go, but a lot of restaurants trying new things here.
Yeah. Well, that's all we have for you this evening. Thanks so much for joining us, and have a good night.